The reason why I've started posting these videos about my gift and what I can do is because I feel like I have to. I feel like it's time and that I need to. Because it's getting stronger. Like sometimes when I talk to my friends, I'll type out the response and say I message them and I'm waiting for a reply, and I ask them a question. I'll type out what I'm gonna say, I'll be able to guess exactly what they're gonna say, and I would have already had my answer typed out. And then I wait for them to send me the message. And I have never been wrong, not yet. Not yet. Knock on wood. I have not been wrong yet. But I wait for them to send their message, and then I send it out immediately right after what I was gonna say, because I feel like I know exactly what they're gonna say. And it's crazy! I just started doing this, within the last few days. I'll be like, so I have this app called Kick, and I don't have a phone. My phone's gone. I don't have money to pay for it anymore, so I use my tablet. And I'll just ask them a question. I'll type out my response to their reply before I get their reply. And it is so trippy. It is nuts. And then, so after I started doing all this, I watched, and I bet you can see it on my history, I watched, for the first time, I've never seen the Long Island Median. Never seen her before. I saw commercials for her show one time, but this was the first time this morning when I looked at it and I saw it, and I was like, well, me and her are different, but we're the same, if that makes sense. Because the way that she talks about spirits and everything is the same way I talk about them. She deals more with death than I do, though. Because what my thing is I deal more with, because I'm religious, I deal more with spiritual warfare and how demons and angels affect spirits. Because for me, there is no death. It's more of your spirit leaves your physical body. So to me, I don't have that boundary of, oh, somebody just died, because I don't have that boundary. So when she says somebody just died, it's like, well, that doesn't really help me. So if a spirit, and I don't see spirits getting injured, I don't see them hurt, I see them as themselves, because they have no flaws. So I don't necessarily see how people died, but I feel I deal with, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I don't see how spirits died unless they specifically tell me how they died, because I feel like I don't need to know. Because for me, there is no death. It's hard for me to tell the difference between a living spirit and a dead spirit. Because I'm getting to a point now where I can astral project my spirit, which is really weird, and you guys need to look it up, and that's a whole can of worms that you just don't need to know about. So for me, being able to astral project my spirit means that I can kind of be in more than one place at one time. I can't do anything, I can't touch anyone, but I can see. I can see what my spirit sees. And so other spirits do that while, and the body is not always conscious of when a spirit leaves the body and comes back. Especially if they're, at least to me, so a living person can have their spirit leave their body and come back. Their spirit can come to me and tell me stuff and then go back into their body. So I don't have that knowledge of who's dead. Not really. Because to me, they're all still alive. So I don't have that boundary of death. Because when a person's alive, and they're just, and you say they're at work. You got a normal person at work, sitting at a desk, who's really struggling. Their spirit gets out of their body and tells me about it. So it's like, oh, well, I see you're struggling with this, you're struggling with this, you're struggling with this, how can I help you, kind of thing. Versus she's talks to the dead spirits and helps their family grieve. I help the living when their spirits find me, if that makes any sense. So it's different, it's very different, but it's kind of the same. But I don't have that whole... And if a dead spirit does come and tell me, they have to tell me that they're dead. Because I don't know if they're dead or not, unless they tell me or show me and give me a vision or pictures in my head. Then I'm all good. Because I'm like, oh, okay, well, thank you for telling me, I'm good, let's just work on this. So, then they tell me. And spirits know, spirits know what to tell you because they know what to tell your spirit, and it's really complicated, and I feel like I can't explain that to you guys yet, but it's really complicated. So say you have someone who's struggling with addiction. Their spirit gets out of their body and like starts yelling at me. Addiction, help me, find me, kind of thing. And ghosts can do that too. So it's kind of like, well, you gotta tell me if you're alive or dead. Like, am I gonna go find a physical body, or do you just need me to like, fucking, you wanna like hang out? Like, are you dead, kind of thing? So if you're in turmoil, the chances are I know about it. If I know that's weird, but it's different from me talking to the dead, because I really don't do that. I see them, they talk to me if they want to, but it's not where I specialize. Can I do that? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Absolutely. Is it what I do? No. It's not, it's like a sidestep of what I actually do, which is help the living by their spirits telling me what I do. So, what they need to do. And so, like, right now, I can tell when one of my close friends is in trouble, because their spirit tells me about it. It's like, when their spirit comes to me, it's tricky, though, because sometimes the person's spirit looks, and especially if they're religious, their spirit looks different than a normal, than like, you know, say some hobo on the street. Their spirit is different. It looks different from how they look. Especially if they're suffering from an ailment in real life, then their spirit, they can still be alive, and their spirit can be perfect, and then their spirit can come find me, and it's kind of like, well, who are you? I don't know anyone that looks like that. And then they have to guide me, give me visions, tell me who they are, pretty much. Because I don't have that set boundary of, I died, you know, kind of thing. And that's kind of how I read people, actually, is their spirit shows me stuff. Their spirit tells me stuff, shows me stuff, tells me stuff, give me feelings, and sometimes with ghost, which is, again, is not my specialty, ghost I consider to be dead. With ghost, sometimes it's just the same, almost. But it's really complicated and hard to explain, but with dead ghost, or, you know, I consider ghosts to be dead spirit. Well, not dead spirits, but like dead bodies. I consider a ghost to be when the spirit has left and the body is dead, if that makes sense. Then I consider them a ghost. Then, yeah, that makes sense. It's really complicated. So then I consider them a ghost. So when I say I'm talking about ghost, I mean spirits who don't have a physical body anymore. When ghosts find me, usually it's to just hang out. Or they want to tell me about stuff, they give me visions about stuff, or someone that is close to them is really affected by them leaving, and I have to help them. But in that case, usually, it's the person who's hurting a live spirit that comes and finds me. And is like, because like, they send out like distress calls, I feel like. And I can feel their hurting and their pain through their spirit. It's not like I don't feel their pain physically. I feel it spiritually. If that makes any sense at all. So, it's like, yes. So ghost, I don't really specialize in unless they're telling me, or they just want to hang out with me. Or, God tells me I need to talk to them, but I don't necessarily talk to the dead, to ghost, necessarily, if that makes sense. Yeah, just a trip into Psycho Land. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty awesome. It really is awesome. And the crazy part, I was watching the median. Oh, sorry, my hand is shaking really bad right now. I need to eat food. But I was watching the median, and just watching her, I knew exactly what that other person was feeling. And I can feel events, because when there's a huge event and it's traumatizing, there's a crossover between, even if the people don't die, when something bad happens, there's a crossover from the spirit world. So, say there's a war but nobody dies, I'm still going to be able to feel that war kind of thing. So, because it's all these feelings. So whenever there's an accident happen, even if the people are still alive, I know about it. So I could look at someone and be like, so you were fine in that car crash you had, kind of thing. And it's like, well, how the fuck did you know that about me? It's like, well, your spirit told me. It's like, well, okay then, kind of thing, you know? And when I get visions, I get them sometimes from alive people. So an alive spirit can give me a vision of their physical body. So like my friend, I had a friend, and I was talking to him on the phone, and I was like, are you sitting on your bed right now with your legs crossed, and you're playing with something in your left hand? And they were like, yeah, how did you know that? And I was like, well, I just saw it. So apparently your spirit just felt like telling me that. And they were alive. So it's like a second dimension almost of spirits and ghosts. And demons and angels also are on the same plane. Well, actually, no. I guess technically they're not, if that makes any... No, they can't... No, that was wrong. Let me rephrase that. I'm really bad with my words. I've never described this stuff to anyone before, so forgive me if I get it wrong the first time. Spirits and ghosts are on a different level. So the physical body, we're on one level. The spirit world is on another level. And demons and angels have their own level too. And they get to cross over between whatever the hell they want to do. So if you're just hanging out, and if I see a ghost and there's a demon attached to them, I'm like, whoa. Because they cross over. It's like a separate plane. My baby. Yeah, it's like a separate plane. They all live on separate planes, and I can see through every single one of the planes, except with angels and demons. I do not see their plane. I see them. So I don't see... No, okay, we're just gonna have to come out and say it. This one time, actually not like a day or so ago, this was only been my 4th experience having this happen to me in my whole life. But I was up top on a mountain, and I was praying and praying and praying, and I was like, I want to understand. I want to understand more, God. I don't understand. I don't understand what I can do. I don't understand what's going on in the spirit world. Like, I don't understand. I need to understand more, so I don't feel as crazy. And so he lifted up the veil between the different planes. And it's really hard to explain. But it's like... the plane that the angels and demons are on, I don't see it. But when he opens the veil, the angels and demons become on the exact same plane that the spirits are on. It's like they mesh into one level, almost. So when he draws up the veil, it becomes one, and I can see everything. And it meshes together. And then, it's really hard to explain it, but it makes sense. So, because I don't see the angels and demons. I don't see their realm. I don't see, like, what they do, you know, I don't see that. Like, I've seen it before, but it's very, very, very rare. It only happens to be, like, twice. But when he lifts up the veil, it all becomes one. And it's all on the same level that ghosts and spirits are on. It's all becomes one level. So, you'll see a demon, and a spirit, and an angel, and it's crazy. But until then, it's all separate, like a filter. Kind of like a filter. So you know how the water drains through several different layers to purify the water? It's kind of like that, except for the filter. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but I think the filter analogy works pretty well. But yeah, it's really crazy. I don't know what else to say about it other than it's kind of weird, and I'm really good. I'm not trying to brag, but it is honestly getting to a freakish level. When you can just, like, know what your friend's about to text you, and you have that response already typed out, then you know you should probably, like, start being open about what you can do and stuff, because there are people that can, like, help. You can help people with that. Sorry, I'm still really sick. And sometimes when I'm talking to people, and I'm sure you've seen me do it in videos, I'll, like, stop and I'll randomly look around. It's because I feel there's a presence near me. So, yeah. Bye, guys!